There's a truth more powerful than words. Your presence shapes her thoughts long before you ever speak. Let that settle in for a second. Because if your energy leaves a mark on her mind, then the real question isn't, how do I get her attention? It's far more dangerous. It's, how do I become the kind of man she can't stop thinking about, without even trying? This has nothing to do with tactics. It's not about clever texts, polished charm, or performing for approval. This is about something deeper: stillness, gravity, presence that lingers. When you learn to master that, you stop chasing attraction and start commanding it. And today, you will learn 6 clear signs she's emotionally attached to you. Not the fake ones, not the surface games. The real markers, the subtle shifts in behavior, silence, and instinct that prove you're already under her skin. So if you're done being forgettable, if you're ready to become the one she replays in her mind at night, then lean in. Because by the end of this, you won't just understand her. You'll understand how to live inside her. Let's begin. Sign number 1. Leave her with questions, not explanations. Want to know how you start living in her mind? Not just as a memory, but as a loop that plays on repeat when she's alone? You don't answer everything. You leave space. You let her wonder. Because here's the truth carved straight from psychology. The mind becomes addicted to loops it can't close. When something feels unresolved, it replays itself again and again. Not by choice, by design. And that's your power. Not in giving clarity, but in planting tension. While other men overtalk, overshare, overexpose, you pull back. You speak in shadows, not spotlights. You don't explain yourself. You leave a trace, a look, a pause, a sentence that ends just before the meaning lands. Because mystery isn't manipulation, it's mastery. I've watched it happen. You say something subtle, calm, deliberate, and she leans in, not because you're loud, but because she needs to fill in the blanks. She replays that pause. She rewinds that sentence. She stares at the last message, wondering if it meant more than it seemed. And it did, because it came from you. This is the power of restraint, of showing up with presence so deep, you don't have to explain a single thing. Say less, but make every word pulse with subtext. Let your silence suggest layers she hasn't earned yet. Because the moment she thinks, why did he pause right there? What did he mean by that smile? She's not just interested anymore. She's already hooked. That's what Stoic presence does. It doesn't shout, it echoes. And if you can leave her with questions she can't answer, you'll live in her thoughts longer than any man who tried to explain everything. Sign number 2, craft an aura of purpose. There's a truth she'll never say out loud, but her actions will scream it. She's not drawn to the man who makes her the mission. She's drawn to the man who already has one. And that's where most men fall. They chase, they rearrange, they center their life around her attention. And in doing so, they lose the very gravity that drew her in. But not you. You move different. You build in silence. You wake up with focus. You speak with intention. You don't explain where you're going. You go. You don't justify the fire in your eyes. You live it. And what happens? She feels it. Even if she can't name it, her body knows. Because a man with purpose carries weight. He doesn't chase approval. He draws curiosity. She wonders why you're not blowing up her phone. She senses you're somewhere building something real. And now, she wants to be close to it. This isn't about being cold. It's about being so locked into your vision that distractions don't tempt you. They respect you. And here's the paradox. The more your life burns for something beyond her, the more she wants to be invited into it. So don't announce your goals. Don't brag about your grind. Let her watch you live it. Let her see that fire. Let her feel the structure behind your silence. Because a man who's moving with purpose, he doesn't need attention. He becomes the focus. Sign number 3, master emotional control. You ever wonder why some men say nothing, and yet she thinks about them for days? It's not charm. It's not looks. It's emotional command. While other men spill emotions, explain themselves, beg for clarity, you stand still. And that silence, that composure, it wraps around her mind like smoke she can't grasp. Because women don't obsess over chaos. They obsess over the man who doesn't flinch, the man who doesn't rise when tested, who doesn't fold when she pulls back, who doesn't react because he already rules himself. That's not indifference. That's dominance of the self. The average man thinks emotion makes him real, but without control, he's just loud, unstable, predictable. You're the opposite. You hold your center. You let the storm come, and you don't move. She throws the test. You smile. She pulls away. You stay present. She tries to trigger you, but your silence hits harder than any reply ever could. And that's what traps her thoughts. Not the noise, the stillness. Because now she's asking, what's he thinking? Why didn't he react? What's going on inside that mind? And just like that, you're under her skin. True emotional control isn't being a stone. It's being the anchor in her ocean. The one man who can hold her chaos without ever becoming it. And once she feels that calm wrapped in fire, she will crave that energy because no one else gave it to her. Sign number 4, be the calm she never knew she needed. She lives in noise, notifications, group chats, overthinking, pulled between pressure and perfection, between being soft and strong, attached and independent. And in the middle of it all, she's not looking for another man to add to the noise. She's searching, quietly, secretly, for one thing: calm, not passive, not boring, pure, commanding. Silence, the kind of energy that doesn't react to her storm, but absorbs it. When she speaks in circles, you don't interrupt. When she escalates, you stay anchored. When she spirals, you don't follow. You slow the rhythm. And that shift, she feels it. Not in her ears, in her nervous system. Because you're not trying to fix her. You're not trying to one-up her emotions. You're just present, grounded, still. And when she finally exhales in your silence, she won't even realize she was holding her breath until you arrived. That's when the contrast becomes impossible to ignore, because you're not like the others who matched her chaos with their own. You don't argue. You don't chase validation. You don't lose yourself trying to be seen. You become the eye in her storm. And now, she can't forget you, because every time life pulls her into stress and noise, her body will remember how you made her feel. Safe, soft, free. That's how peace becomes addictive. Not because it's loud, but because it's rare. And the moment she links your presence with peace, she'll keep coming back, again, and again, and again. Sign number 5, withdraw strategically. Here's what most men never learn. She doesn't miss the man who stayed too long. She misses the one who left at the right moment. The one who didn't overstay, didn't chase, didn't cling. The one who knew when to disappear, so her mind would have no choice but to follow. Because desire doesn't live in constant presence. It lives in the gap, the pause, the echo. And when you withdraw, not out of fear, not out of game, but out of control, you trigger something ancient. Now her mind starts working overtime, replaying your stillness, rereading your words, refreshing your story without tapping like, not because you vanished, but because your presence was so full. Your absence now feels heavy. And here's the deeper truth. The brain remembers emotions more than events. So if your energy left behind calm, mystery, focus, that's what she'll crave. And that craving, it grows in the quiet. You don't check in. You don't send a just thinking of you. You hold your line, because your energy is earned, not leaked. You're not cold. You're composed. You're not gone. You're focused. And the discipline to pull away, especially while things are still warm, is what makes you unforgettable. She'll scroll without replying. She'll wonder where you went. She'll think about what you're thinking about. And in doing so, she'll relive every piece of you didn't explain. That's how a man becomes a loop. Not by staying, but by knowing when to leave. Sign number 6. Become the echo she can't escape. There's no need to circle back to anyone else. Not some guy you once knew. Not philosophers. Not quotes. Because you are the lesson now. You are the storm and the silence. You are the impression that doesn't fade. She can't stop thinking about you. Not because of what you said, but because of what you left behind. You were the stillness she didn't expect, the mystery she couldn't solve, the peace she didn't know she needed, the purpose she couldn't interrupt, the calm that cracked her chaos wide open. You didn't perform. You didn't chase. You didn't try. You became. And now, every quiet moment she has, you're there. Not loud, not obvious, but present. Like a song stuck in her body. Like a dream she remembers without understanding. Like something unfinished. Because your words weren't the power. Your presence was. And before she even knew it, you became the thought that dyes the rest. So before you send another clever text, before you over-explain, before you try to be interesting, ask yourself, are you becoming the man who leaves an echo, or the one who gets drowned out by the noise? Because the man who lives in her mind doesn't force his way in. He gets invited back by silence. You've just unlocked what she'll never say out loud, but now you see it. You feel it, because this isn't about just saying the right thing. It's about becoming the man she can't forget, the silence she rewatches, the presence that lingers, the echo that rewrites her thoughts. Now, don't just disappear. Return, watch again, rewire. And if you're ready to master this spell, subscribe to the Stoic Architect, because the next one won't just make her think about you. It'll make her obsessed.